It's about time, man, because I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get the kingdom. I'm ready to live. I'm ready to breathe fresh. I'm ready to have beautiful, pure women. Okay, not no strawberry harlots on this side. Ready to have children, man. You can vibe with. Okay, be around brothers. Be around the Lord Himself. Okay, I'm ready to go and visit places in the galaxy that we didn't know exist. All right, I'm ready to walk on sandy beaches, man, and explore the ocean floors. I'm ready to fly. Okay, I'm ready to eat real food. Okay, I'm ready to drive a chariot, man. All right, I'm ready to minister to the Lord and to be ministered to, man. Okay, I'm ready to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua in its full entirety. Okay, I'm ready for it. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready, man. I'm ready to see angels and greet angels.
Isaiah 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve.
The Lord said that on the Heavenly Father's right hand there are pleasures evermore. And it says that I have not seen, neither ear heard the things that the Lord hath prepared for them that wait for Him. You know, there's a whole nother world of greatness that awaits us when the kingdom of heaven is established. It's not seen in this society. In this society, we only see carnal things that reason offers in this society. But when the kingdom is established, the Lord is going to open us up to a whole nother world, you know, of pleasure, of knowledge, of wisdom, understanding, you know, it can't even be put into words, you know, because our imagination only goes but so far.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love Him. But God hath revealed them unto us by His Spirit.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kapradash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing His word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. All right, and what I want to get into today, you know, morning news and prophecy, you know, dealing with the aftermath. All right, the aftermath of, you know, certain events that have transpired, you know, still dealing with the Charlie Kirk situation, you know, the Jake, you know, on the train supposedly, you know, unaliving, you know, this Edomite Ukrainian. And, you know, just to see, because, see, we don't dive too deep into, okay, whether the event was real or not, okay? But the thing is, okay, what are they trying to implement because of the event? Because that's the real play, and that's what we follow, you know, because you can speculate about was it real or not, and who did it, and, you know, and the what, when, how, but then you lose track of, okay, what they're implementing, okay? Because, see, we're dealing with the wickedness in high places, okay? These events are just characters and, you know, psyops, okay, for the masses, okay, but the real agenda is within what they try to implement, okay, because of the situation, and that's what we follow. All right, the reaction of the people, okay, because they do these things to get the desired reaction, okay, and we know they want, all right, division, turmoil, civil unrest, confusion, okay, outrage, okay, that's what they want. So I got a few videos, we're gonna go into and see as we understand, all right, these devils, okay, we can pick up on certain language, when they speak, okay, in their media, and we understand exactly who they're talking to, okay, and we understand exactly, what they mean, okay. So I got a couple precepts I want to get into, and then we're gonna get into these videos, okay. So let's go here, all right, because we let's get Psalms, you know, because ultimately Esau Edom wants war. All right, these Edomites want to go to war with everybody. And ultimately this is a response to the prophets. You see, because he's being called out. All right, and this devil in his mind, he wants to go to war with everybody. He wants to go to war with the heathens, with the tribes, with the other heathens, the tribes. Okay, his own people that don't agree. Okay, Esau's coming. He's gearing up to go to war with everybody. Okay, and he's going to get ready to pull out all stops. Psalms 55:20 says, "He had put forth his hand such against such as be with peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words, all right, were softer than oil, yet with a drawn sword." So this man has war in his heart. All right, Esau has war in his mind. Okay, on every level, internationally, nationally, locally, domestically, all right, psychologically, this man has war in his mind. Okay, so prepare for this man, all right, to start the ante up. Okay, and remember, this man's all over the place because he has a hell of a task to try to pull off. All right, and he's tired of being condemned and blamed, okay, in his own kingdom. Okay, so he's setting the stage for him to be the victim so he can come out and go to war, in the name of self-defense. Okay, this is what's being set up. You see? So let's go here. All right, because the scripture described this man. Okay, and Esau, see, we know this man's true nature. All right, and he tries to hide behind, this conservative Christian, okay, mask, this conservative Christian covering, who just wants to enhance, civilization for everyone. Okay, he wants to hide behind that mask, but no, this is the violent man. Okay, the scripture called him the evil, violent man. You read Psalms 141. It said, "Deliver me, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man." Okay, this is Esau, the evil, violent man. Okay, and you look at how this man came into power. It was through evil and violence. Okay, pure wickedness and violence, man. Okay, which imagine mischiefs in their heart, all right, in their mind. So all these is mischief, man. They set, certain events up. They off people. They sacrifice one of their own for their agenda to go forward. It's all type of mischief, false flag, stage events. Okay, they poison every goddamn thing. There's always some type of mischief, man. All right, they doing some type of coup somewhere, some type of, nigga blow up the negotiation meeting. Nigga do an airstrike. Nigga did an airstrike on the negotiation meeting, man. Okay, but then jump on the news and be the victim. Okay, this man always has some type of mischief going on, man. Okay, let's see what this word mischief goes into. All right, and it says continually while they gather together for war, man. So this man is always in some type of war council. you know, whether it's some type of, you know, covert war, you know, systemic war. Okay, I think the word Ra, which goes into evils. Okay, it's the word Ra in the Hebrew, Ra. All right, you see, bad, evil, unpleasant, evil. Okay, displeasing. Um, yeah, bad, unkind, vicious. You see, in deeds or actions, evil, hurtful. Okay, and this man is always he's always got some type of mischief that he's up to, man. Okay, I say whether it's covertly, you know, systemic, you know, to where you know you can't see it. Okay, he's attacking you, you know, secretly or he's out in the open, you know, but it's justified because he's the victim. Okay, Psalms 143 says they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Okay, adder's poison is under their lips. Salah. And how do they sharpen their tongues, man? Because they create policies that justify them being violent. You know, they speak a narrative, a false narrative into existence that justifies them, all right, being violent, man. How they sharpen their tongue. Okay? And everything about this man's policies and legislation is all poison, man. Okay? So in the aftermath of kind of brother say he won't stop till he stop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Department of War. Yeah, this devil, he's gearing up to go to war with everybody, man. Okay. Esau finna losing, man. Esau going out like Tony Montana, man. You know? You see? So let's go here. All right, I got a couple videos I want to get into. Well, first let's deal with this one. All right. And the devil loves, you know, to stage himself, you know, to present himself to the world. You know, it's his victim, all right, that wasn't doing anything to anybody. When this man is doing everything to everybody, all right, real quick. Okay, it's the brother Bayan Yashala, Revelation 6:4 says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that set their own to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given, okay, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, that was given unto him a great sword. So this man, Esau Edom, was built to take peace from the earth. All right, and the Lord gave this devil a great sword, you know, his weaponry, okay, his witchcraft, his media, you know, his you know, he's weaponized the food, and this devil has weaponized every goddamn thing, man. Music, okay, because you look at, you know, the music, you look at niggas, well, the music that niggas listen to take peace from their environment, man. But who gives these niggas this music, man? Who finances and, you know, pushes this music, man? It's the damn devil, man. So this man has weaponized everything. Okay, but somehow, all right, he's this innocent victim, okay, that the world keeps picking on. So now, okay, he's justified in how he's finna react. Okay. So you got this channel here, which I tell you, you know, we tell you that these, you know, like redacted, you know, because sometimes, you know, they have certain insight, okay, certain points, you know, that we can bring out and link with the scriptures. But ultimately, these are control opposition, man. These are Edomites that are being used, okay, to continue to, you know, cause confusion, control opposition. Okay, so they're used, you know, to seem as if they're against, okay, the status quo, you know, the shadow government, against, you know, certain, you know, corruption. But at the end of the day, you know, they're nothing but an extension, okay, of the enchantments of Esau Edom, okay. And then they also use, you know, control opposition to see, you know, who really, you know, has an opinion against this system, you know. So it's like a way of gathering data, you know, through seeing who's watching and responding. Okay, but let's play this. All right, and they're gonna put out a Catholic a Catholic priest. Okay, which the reputation of a Catholic priest is like goddamn. All the sexual, all right, deviance, okay, of the Catholic priest, and they gonna pull this nigga out, man. Okay, so let's let this play. Listen, we're gonna pay attention to the language, all right, because these devils, they speak in code to one another, but we know what they're talking about, all right.
Calvin Robinson now, host of Fox and Father, joining us from Michigan, and to kind of end the show today on a positive note about what we just heard from Gerald, which is we've got to try to continue to stand up to this adversity and not be afraid to back down, to share love, to be able to go out there and to share this message and not be coward in the face of this of this violence. Father, is that how you see it? I mean, maybe you can give us the fatherly message here about how when we're faced with this type of adversity, do we cower, do we run and hide, or do we get back up as stronger and more united and continue to go out there and shout down this hatred?
Absolutely. We never cower, because this is a battle between good and evil. This isn't even right versus left. This isn't conservative versus woke. This is good versus evil. And evil wants to shut down good, wants to shut down the truth. And we have to stand up even bolder. We have to double down. I've got a couple of turning point events coming up, actually. I'm still going to go to them. I hope to have more security, but I'm still going to go and speak to the young people. But I think what shifted now is that we've realized we can't debate with evil, right? You cannot debate with evil. And Charlie Kirk was the nicest. He was the nicest on our side. And he tried his hardest to debate with evil. And evil killed him. And I think as a result, what we're going to...
Listen to the language. He was the nicest on our side. Okay? Painting, Esau is just wholesome. Okay? Moral, innocent. Okay? And he said, well, he was killed by evil, all right? And they're going to lump up, okay, a large, all right, portion of the population is evil, whether it's the leftists, okay, whether it's, extremists, whether it's, what they call domestic, all right, terrorism, okay. So they have all these categories going out, but when it comes to them, they're wholesome and they're good. So Esau is saying, look, it's us, the good, versus the evil. You see? This is the language, okay, that these devils use. Okay? This is the witchcraft through words that they use. So he gets to choose who's good and evil. Okay? So let's let it play some more.
See is a lot less tolerance. We're going to see a lot more hostility.
Is that okay? Is that okay? Because that's what I was feeling yesterday. I'm sick. I had to be honest. I'm sick of the tolerance. Like all these conservatives sort of sat back. You'd have these, nut job lefties with purple hair, burning down businesses, attacking individuals, destroying classrooms, destroying our schools. And we just, sort of sit back. There was so much tolerance. And I've honestly, personally had it. I'm sick of it.
Good. We should be saying enough is enough. We cannot have, and lots of these people are teachers. We're seeing lots of the horrible responses to Charlie's death, people celebrating it. Unfortunately, lots of them are teachers. But lots of these people are encouraging the idea to our young people that boys can become girls and girls can become boys. They're also encouraging the idea that a woman can kill her baby if it's inconvenient for her. This is pure evil across.
Now, wait a minute. There's not, the American, all right? Does not American have a law that legalizes gay marriage? Okay. There's not, you look at Netflix and do not they have, okay, gay narratives and, these alphabet narratives and all these series. Okay. So, here it is, America as a whole pushes anti-Messiah, okay, culture, okay? But then the same people that push that culture, all right, are able to jump on, okay, camera, okay, and condemn the culture that they push, okay? Just like they do with drugs, okay? Here it is, no one, okay, transport more drugs than Esau from continent to continent, okay? But he can jump on TV and condemn, okay, niggas on the corner, okay, which they're wicked too, for participating. But see, once this man can put you in the category as evil, then he can do whatever he wants. All right, these are the same devils that came with the doctrine of discovery. This is the same thing. Okay, the doctrine of discovery, the Spanish, all right, requirement, which gave Christian or Edomite Christians the right to do whatever they want in the new world under the banner of Christianity, under the banner of good, all right, civilizing evil. Okay, so these devils they're getting ready to run the same play. Okay, we see, all right, these devils, all right, let's say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, his schemes. We know this nigga, man. Okay, it's the same playbook, new outfit, man. Okay, and the Catholic priests should have no credibility, man, with their track record. Okay.
Spectrum. And for too long, we've been saying things along the lines of whatever they do within the four walls of their own home, they're not harming anyone. They are harming people. It's a toxic ideology. It's full of sin. And actually, going forward, I'm not here to convince people. I have no interest in convincing people. The Lord hasn't gifted me that much patience. I'm here to inform people that if you promote the idea that young boys can become girls and encourage them to mutilate their bodies, you are going to hell. If you promote the idea that women can kill their babies, you are going to hell. There is always time to repent. We have a merciful and pleasant God. There is always.
Now, where are these people allowed to have these surgeries? Okay, for children to be trans. Well, what government allowed that to be possible? Okay, and these devils, they allow all this wickedness, and then okay, they come through the back door and condemn everybody. And the system that they set up, a system that they tolerate this wickedness, man. Okay, how is it even possible for a child to go through that mutilation, or a person, adult to go through that mutilation? How is that possible? Okay, because of the system you set up. All right.
How to make amends. But if you don't, you are going to hell. This is the truth. We need to be bold with it. We need to be upfront with it. And actually, I think Charlie was it, but he was much kinder. He was much nicer. And this is what I'm saying. The niceness is gone. They've killed the niceness, unfortunately. In Charlie's respect, he died proclaiming the gospel. The last thing he did was speak the words of Jesus Christ, his Lord and Savior, our Lord and Savior. And I think that's as much of an argument for martyrdom as I've ever heard. I don't think the Catholic Church has ever martyred anyone or canonized anyone, that is a martyr outside of Rome or Constantinople. But there's certainly an argument to be made for the canonization of Charlie Kirk, who died proclaiming the gospel at the hands of evil. And so God rest his soul, God bless his soul. And of course, our prayer should be with his children and Derica, who are going to be going through it right now. But Charlie was on the money. He knew what the problems were. When he just visited England not long ago, and he texted me when he got back and said, "I see what you're talking about now. There's a pincer movement of evil. On one side, you've got Islam. On the other side, you've got woke, and they're both crushing what was formerly a good Christian country. And we have to fight back. We have to push back." And more recently, he's been speaking on, not tolerating every single line that comes out of Israel. He's recognizing the evils in our world, and he's pointing them out in a very pleasant way. And my message today is that the pleasantness is over, the niceness is over, we're limited in our patience. And so we will push back against evil at all costs. All the people celebrating Charlie's death, all of them need to face the consequences. They need to face accountability. For so long, people on our side have been saying, we fight against cancel culture. No, let's embrace it. Let's cancel every single one of them. If they're a teacher, they have a high-profile job, and they're celebrating the death of a good man, they need to lose their job. They need to face the consequences of their actions. They wrote the playbook. We need to start playing by it. We need to play by their rules for a change. And of course, we are the good guys. We don't kill people. That's what
We are the good guys. We don't kill people. You see that? He had to throw it in there. Let's start playing by their playbook. Now, he's saying their playbook is violent. But wait, we don't kill people. We're the good guys. Okay? He had to keep that narrative going. Goddamn devil, man. Okay? A little more of this play.
What they do. But we will certainly shut down their evil arguments. We'll certainly not tolerate their evil ideologies anymore. Push it out of the public square. There's no room for it. It's gone.
You know, I've seen a lot of people online saying, I'm going to go to church this weekend, and I don't normally. I've seen other people saying you have to stare into the heart of darkness or let it break you. And I said to my son, I'm not sure I completely know what that means. And I don't know where even to begin. And I don't know, I think people.
You don't know what the hell she talking about. But let's go here. Let's pull this up. The doctrine of discovery, okay, and showing you they're bringing out the same format, all right, centuries later, okay. So you go into the doctrine of discovery, which we went over before. Well, let's show you they're rolling it out again, just under a new title, okay. It says the doctrine of discovery is a 15th century concept rooted in papal decrees and international law that granted European powers, Edomites, the right to claim sovereignty over lands not inhabited by Christians. Okay? So once they can label you, all right, once they can put you in the category. So if you wasn't considered a Christian, you was non-Christian, guess what? They can consider you evil, all right, and rights don't apply to you anymore. Okay? So once they can put you in the category, all right, of all these different things that they consider as inhumane, okay, rights don't apply to you anymore, and they're justified for handling you any way they want. Okay, it says effectively disposing, all right, dispossessing indigenous peoples of their land and rights. That this doctrine, which established the principle of terra nullius, nobody's land, also led to the subjugation and enslavement of non-Christian populations, while the Vatican, okay, formally repudiated it in 2023. In 2023, nigga, you know, and it was in 1493 when it came out, but in 2023 they were like, we tripping, okay. In 2023, they talking about something in 1493. Okay, like, we tripping. 2 years ago. Okay, and it says, it said the doctrine of discovery principles were incorporated into U.S. law by the Supreme Court in John versus McIntosh and continue to influence property law and lands right for indigenous peoples in several countries. Now, let's go here. It says the doctrine, religion's foundation lies in the 15th century papal decrees or bulls, which granted Christian empires authority to claim and conquer non-Christian lands and people. So it didn't matter if you had land, okay. If you was non-Christian, okay, you was considered no people, okay, and nothing you own was yours, okay. It said the doctrine was based on the idea that land inhabited by non-Christians were considered terra nullius or empty or any, all right, of any legal ownership. So they didn't recognize your ass. Okay, if you don't fit in this category, you're not recognized, and anything that you own is not recognized. Okay, and now this is the main point, because this is what they want to bring back: superiority. Okay, a core belief was the superiority of European culture and religion justifying the imposition of Christianity and the seizure of resource from non-European peoples, non-Edomite people. Okay? So just like now, why they have these guys like Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh going around debating to show that, look, our ideologies are superior to yours. Okay? So they're sending them to a college, have them debating, all right, a bugged out, okay, leftist weirdo, who think, they go to a college and they debating these weird, all right, bugged out college student that think, she's a butterfly. Okay. They making these, these bugged out college students, which are a product, okay, of American culture. You see? But then they get these guys like Charlie Kirk as these conservative, wholesome, okay, intellectual, okay, and they push, Edomite superiority, all right, superiority throughout, throughout the earth, man. So this is a thing of superiority, man. They saying, well, look, man, you non-Edomites, this is what they're saying. You non-Edomites are inferior. Okay, and our culture and our way is above everybody else's, man. So this is the standard we finna go by. Okay, and this is at the forefront of their new world order, man. Okay, the same, all right, doctrine, man. Okay, it's the same thing that they're bringing back 2025, man. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see. Yeah, let's go here. All right, and this is the reaction. Look at the reaction that is drawn. Okay, so let's play a little bit of this. All right, because now, the right is being revved up. Okay, now they have, okay, an excuse. Okay, because 9/11, which was yesterday. All right, and what happened on 9/11, man? You had the Patriot Act. You had different acts that took away rights. Okay, so what are they going to spin with this one? Okay, we'll see. Okay, so let's play a little bit of this.
There are two diametrically opposing reactions of the murder of Charlie Kirk that happened yesterday in Utah. The left, the Democrats, sitting presidents, are condemning this political act of violence and offering their thoughts with the family and supporters of Charlie Kirk. The right is calling for an all-out war against Democrats. This seems to be coordinated. This seems to be intentional, and it is chilling to the bone as Pumps and I sit here and have still a First Amendment right to express our disagreement with other influencers like Charlie Kirk, and also state how saddened we are that somebody in the United States of America is shot from a sniper's nest on a university campus. And so here's just a sampling of what is happening on the right wing. Pop up the first tweet, Kylie. Matt Forney says, for years, the radical left has compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis. This type of language is directly responsible for the terrorism we're seeing in our country today. Trump is going to destroy the left once and for all. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. We're doing it for you. And I want to point out that as of filming this right now, there is no suspect. And when there is no suspect, there is no motive. Nobody knows right now who killed Charlie Kirk or why. They definitely wanted to kill him, and they definitely had the skill to kill him and had an opportunity for this to be a mass shooting situation. And it was clearly very targeted at Charlie Kirk. And I want to state that I condemn it with everything in me, but I also condemn the responses from MAGA influencers like him. And I also condemn the response from the sitting president of the United States who riled up a violent insurrection on January 6th. And this same MAGA influencer, couple hours later, after he sent the first one, then he sent this. Charlie Kirk being assassinated is the American Reichstag fire. It is time for a complete crackdown on the left. Every Democratic politician must be arrested and the party banned under RICO. Every libtard commentator must be shut down. Stochastic terrorism, they caused this.
So, all right, the category is the left. All right, that's the category. Okay, it's interchangeable with evil. Okay, it's interchangeable with non-Christian. Okay, because you go into the left is what, a bunch of weirdos, alphabet. Okay, atheists. You know, you go to the incense store downtown. You know, the Gothic. Okay, weirdos at the incense store. You know, you're like, God damn. You see. So and who's else on the left? Jake. Okay, they lumped Jake up with alphabet and the liberals. Okay, Eve, you know, leading the league in abortions. And see, they you see, they link that all to the left. Okay, so that's the category that they're herding people into, is the left. And it's going to be the right that's going to save the world from the evil left. Okay, that's the narrative that they're running. So now it ain't about good and evil. It's about them being able to put you in a category. All right, because yes, the left is off. You know, the right is off. All of it is off. Okay, but he's in a position of authority to where he can say, well, look, it's the left that's the problem of the earth. Okay, it's the left that's the problem of the economy. It's the left that has brought our great country down, not the elites that are sabotaging this whole system. Okay, that runs an economy based off debt. Okay, no real wages have increased since 1978. It's not that. Okay, it's not that these devils spend trillions on war. Okay, throughout the earth. You see, it's not capitalism where the few oligarch families benefit off the labors. All right, the labor of the masses. Is not that. Okay, it's the left. Okay, that's the problem. This is what we need to root out. This is standing in the way between us and utopia. Okay, for the Edomite utopia. Okay, this is what's in the way. And this is the narrative that they're running with. Okay, so the left is this category that they're framing to be the domestic terrorists. Okay, to be the waste of resources. Okay, which there's much money is spent on war than Section 8 and food stamps. Way more money is being spent on war. All right, one fighter jet. Okay, is equivalent to months worth of government assistance. One fighter jet. Okay, so these devils, all right, are framing this narrative and they creating these categories, and the left is a big category that they finna lump, okay, the unwanted into. You see? So let's play some more.
And so let's go back in history and let's arm ourselves with what a Reichstag fire was. So I want to point out to you that initially he says they called us Nazis. And that's what killed Charlie Kirk. And then 2 hours later, he calls for this to be the right's Reichstag fire. What is a Reichstag fire? Put it up, Kylie. A Reichstag fire was a major event in Germany on February 27th, 1933, when the Reichstag building, the German parliament in Berlin, was set on fire. A young Dutch communist named Maurits van der Lubbe was found at the scene and arrested. The Nazis, led by Adolf Hitler, quickly blamed communists in general for the fire. Using the fire as an excuse, Hitler convinced President Hindenburg to issue the Reichstag Fire Decree, which suspended many civil liberties like freedom of speech, press, and assembly. This allowed the Nazis to arrest political opponents, especially communists and socialists, and helped Hitler consolidate power. In simple terms, the Reichstag fire was likely started by one man, though some think the Nazis may have staged it. But it gave Hitler the perfect excuse to crush his opponents and turn Germany into a dictatorship. So this is what's happening on the right now. They're saying the left caused this because they called us Nazis, and they use comparisons to our school of thought and the way that we want to govern with 1930s Germany. And I want to remind you that Mitch McConnell has done this, that Marco Rubio has done this, and that the sitting vice president of the United States has also made these same comparisons about the MAGA regime before they flipped.
And in order to bring in a new world order, they need to do it under dictatorship. Okay, so these events, are justifying, a dictatorship. Okay, so the right is like, look, this should be the turning point to where, we just have the authority to crack down against any opposition, because if not, they're gonna kill us off. You see, they're gonna kill us off. Same thing the small hats do. Like, look, we gotta keep airstriking. All right, these different countries over here in this region, or they're gonna kill us off, man. We're if we don't do this, if we don't take action, okay, they're gonna kill us off. You see? And this the narrative that these devils run with, man. So let's go from there. Let's see. I got this. So you had this this brawl breakout. So this supposed to be a visual of Charlie Kirk, and you had a brawl breakout. Okay, so you have Americans fighting in the street, behind this. Okay, so let's play this. I believe that's an Iskra, right? Okay. He's saying Elf Charlie Kirk. All right. Let me fast forward.
With Lucidchart, you can clearly communicate your best and brightest ideas. It supercharges remote.
I came out here with free speech. Y'all came with this. Hey, 30, 40 mother. Give me the ones, baby. Shoot the ones with me. Anybody.
Look at this embarrassment.
All y'all.
You.
Charlie Kirk! Charlie Kirk!
Look at this guy. You're a piece of
Come with.
And this is what they want, their mass division. So you have, this visual, these brawls breaking out. Okay. One side is, pro-conservative, the other side is pro-left. You see the alphabet, book bag you got on, just weird. Okay, but this is what they want. They want these ideologies to clash in the streets. Okay, and they wanted to get violent. All right, they want to get way more bloody than this, man, so they can justify, cracking down and having a dictator, all right, style government, okay, under the guise of emergency. Okay, they want, all right, civil unrest so they can go into a state of emergency, man. Okay, so you got that going on with these, these gatherings. That's why it's not even wise, all right, to be around, crowds like that. But let's see, let's go here. Okay, let's see, brother put up something. Yeah, let's get a couple more precepts. All right, this Proverbs 28 and 25. This is brother Dhammawatia, GMS in his likeness. It says, "He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat." Okay, so Esau, Edom is of that proud heart, that proud mind, and it's his spirit that stir up strife. And that's a beautiful precept to explain what the devil wants. He wants strife, stir it up. Okay, because if he can create civil unrest, okay, he can declare the different state of emergencies. Okay, which justify him coming down, okay, harsh. All right, and that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to come down, with harshness. Okay, so yeah, I think we ended on that precept, the water, bro. But yeah, we're just gonna keep watching these things, man. Just seeing how things unfold, see what they try to implement, seeing what they try to spin off, these certain situations. Okay, because we know the devil at work. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters will edify once again. And we give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards your brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful and Shalom.